All right, FOJ 42. What's up, Jason?
Not much, Jeff. How are you?
I'm good. I see we're both locked in here in official Bears watching positions.
Hell yes, man. This is fantastic. And what we're watching right now has been honestly a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, if this is a taste for the season, I am excited
Yeah, sign
because
me up.
we're at the very beginning of the second quarter here in the preseason game against the Bills, and they're already up 14-0, meaning the Bears are up.
I am all about this playbook that we're seeing from Ben Johnson and the Bears. I mean, I know we're watching Tyson Bagent right now, but I mean, Caleb on that first drive was like crisp and
Yeah.
good, and not indecisive. I mean, it just looked right.
Yeah, I thought the play calling was spot on. I think there was one holding call, and then he was kind of scrambling on one play, kind of did the improv thing, kind of threw it low. I think it was a catchable ball. I'm not sure who he threw it to, but yeah, I mean, 93 yards. Was it 93 or 97 yards? I can't remember which one, but they went right down the field.
It was a 93-yard drive, and I think with the penalty, he threw for 97. He was 5 of 6. And 3 of those throws were for 20+ yards, and he hit 4 different receivers. So, including the tight end 3 times. So just good stuff, man. Really good.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm impressed. It was what I wanted to see. And I was I started this game with a lot of trepidation because I wasn't sure if we're going to, what Caleb Booms we're going to see.
Well, for sure. I mean, the word around town is, of course, I don't know why, but I guess everybody is a doubter. They just don't think he's going to be good. And maybe it's just, it comes from years and years of quarterback struggles in Chicago. And, it's like people are just doubting him because they think he's going to be like everybody else. And I'll tell you what, if it looks how it looked, granted, okay, it was one drive, and then I know they stalled out in the second drive, but let's be honest, the Dunze should have caught that first down ball to keep the drive going. But if it looks like this, it's going to be a fun football season, I think.
Yeah, I got what I wanted. He played 2 drives. The second drive was not as good as the first.
No.
And I don't know if we saw really starters on the other side of the ball because I don't think there were that many. So the defense he was playing against, I don't know if it was starters or not.
I don't know either, but it was just nice to see an offensive line providing some time, and they because the starting O-line was out there. I mean, you saw pass protection, you saw holes made for running backs. You saw Caleb able to step into throws and not running for his life a lot. You saw what an NFL offense is supposed to look like.
Yeah, it was foreign. I'm not used to it.
I know.
They look good. What can I say? I mean, right now we're in the second quarter. We got Luther Burden's made a couple catches. I'm not a fan of the spot, or at least the initial spot when the guy came out. They marked him like a yard way behind where he got caught down. But
yeah, it's yeah. And I'll tell you what I'm also not a fan of so far. They got to clean this up. Is the virtual spot, the measurement.
So the virtual measurement.
Yes, I like the idea of it, but it needs to be quicker. It seems to take too long. And I know they're just rolling this out, so it could, obviously there's some things to iron out, but it takes too long. The chain gang would be in and out and done, and they could move the game along. So,
yeah, I think it'll get better. So we've seen one, I think, so far in this game. It was I think it was a Luther Burden catch. Maybe it was something else. But it was also a measurement at the same time. And the measurement was 1 foot and 3 inches short. Right. I'm not sure why they had to go to a virtual measurement other than they want to practice it. It seems to me like you should be able to eyeball. Yeah, you're a foot short, dude.
Yeah. And what I thought was strange was because they also reviewed the catch, which actually turned out to be a non-catch. Why wouldn't they review the play first and then decide if it was a catch or not and then do the measurement? Because
Preseason for everybody, I guess.
Yeah, because the non-catch deems the measurement irrelevant. It was, as I think the rules guy said, what's his name, Mike Pereira said, he goes, it was useless. So yeah, you're right. I mean, obviously there's some stuff to iron out, but hopefully, I think it's cool. I think it's cool that they're you trying a tool that technology to take that over. It might be a little bit more accurate. I don't know. I mean, I know tennis has been doing that kind of thing for years, where they call balls on the line or just outside the line or just inside the line. They go to the computer to determine that instead of the eyeball. So let's see. Let's look at it here.
I mean, I think what I want to see is...
he's way past. He's way past the line.
Like this should be not even a...
Yeah.
Like, the ball is a full yard, and his knee went down at the first down, but...
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. But, it puts more emphasis on the spot of the ball.
It does.
So I think you're going to see probably the similar amount of, challenges to the spots on the field and stuff like that. But technology should make it easier. I kind of almost want to liken it to an automated umpire calling balls and strikes.
For sure.
A consistent strike. Here we go. Is that another touchdown? Yep.
Yes.
Tyson Bagent.
Is that a
secret agent, man?
Is that a Tyler Scott? Yes. Wow. A Tyler Scott sighting.
I think he's the one who dropped it earlier, so it makes up for him.
TB17, baby, taking him down the field.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, are we? It sounds to me like we're in the Hopium part of the season, where the Bears are still undefeated. Draft, the kings of the offseason with all the moves they've made. They're up 20-0, pending an extra point.
I love the play design. I love it. I just love the, guys being open. I mean, that's what they struggled with last year. I mean, I know, they're the throws and all that stuff and Caleb overthrowing guys and things, but you're seeing it here. Guys are open, wide open.
Yeah, I think they're doing a lot better motion of the receivers and the different levels. That was a 2-level play.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, offensive line certainly helps. There's time to make reads. So
that's a great catch.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I am too.
Good catch, good throw, good read. Patient, waiting for him to clear that under corner. And let's go. Super Bowl, baby.
For sure. I think I texted my coworkers. I said, that's it. After the first drive, that's all I need to see. I'm sold. 93-yard drive. Caleb 5 of 6. Look good doing it. Bears are Super Bowl bound. What else is there to see?
All right. Now, you got to put any money on that?
Boy, I wonder what the odds are. I'll have to look at that later to see what the actual odds of a Super Bowl champion Bears, what the odds look like. Because I'm not saying it's a smart play, but hey, $10 on a you never know.
Well, if only we had the magical world of the internet at our fingertips. I can tell you right now, according to ESPN, they are a 30-1 Super Bowl odd.
Wow, actually, that's better odds than I thought. So, what, $10?
So right now, the favorites are the Eagles and the Ravens.
That makes sense.
Bills and Chiefs.
That makes sense. So 30-1 would get you on a $10 bet would get you $300. I think that's right. Okay.
And they're projecting, 8.5 wins is the over/under for the Bears.
I think they get more than that, man. I really do.
Depends on which team shows up, but
yeah. And I know they're playing the second stringers on offense, but their defense also looks really good tonight. And I know, they only played, I think, 2 series as well, but this Bills team has done absolutely nothing in this game.
Yeah, but I'm not going to put any stock in the defense right now.
It's
only
hard.
Because starters aren't playing. It's not a real game. You're not going to go out and risk Josh Allen on this. I haven't heard any news on Jalen Johnson. Is he still projected to be maybe by the opener?
Sure. All I've heard is maybe. They haven't really discussed it all that much, which means nothing's changed. So you're probably looking at Tyreek Stevenson and maybe that Terrell Smith to open the season, or who's the other guy that they signed? Was it Trey Flowers, maybe? Um, but yeah, Jalen, I don't know, maybe week 3, week 4. It will probably go into the season because, obviously he's got to quote unquote ramp up, whatever that means, and, rehab and all that stuff. So hopefully, I still have no idea how he got hurt. I don't know what he did. I don't know, what happened, but yeah, it could be a couple weeks. Oh, Austin Booker, big sack right there. Wow.
So I was looking at the odds here. Who do you think are the 2 teams that are at the bottom of the odds list?
At the bottom,
The worst teams. They're both. So here's something that's interesting, and this is probably just a matter of being in the right division or the wrong division, depending on how you look at it.
okay.
The bottom 3 teams, the 2 teams with the worst Super Bowl odds, are projected to win 5.5 games. That's the over under for them is 5.5 games. Okay, those are the 2 worst teams.
Okay.
The third worst team is projected to have an over under of 4.5 wins.
That's weird.
So a worse record, but
better
slightly
odds.
better Super Bowl odds. Yeah.
Okay, so 3 teams, the bottom 3. I'm gonna guess.
bottom 3.
I'm gonna guess Carolina is one of them.
No.
Really? Okay.
Carolina is 150 to 1 odds with an over under of 6.5.
Okay. Tennessee.
Tennessee is the second worst, over under 5.5, and a 250 to 1 Super Bowl odd.
New Orleans.
The worst, 300 to 1 odds, but still has the same 5.5 over under.
Okay, so Tennessee, New Orleans, and
there's one more.
I gotta.
This is the one that has projected fewer wins than any of those teams, but has slightly better odds for the Super Bowl.
The Jets? No, it can't be the Jets. Giants,
close, but no.
Giants.
No, same ballpark, but no. So Jets and Giants are both 200 to 1 odds and 5.5 over under. It is the Cleveland Browns that have a 200 to 1 odds, but they're only projected for 4.5 wins as the over.
Well, yeah, I guess when you're trying to decide, look at that move by Burden. When you're trying to decide between when your quarterback room is Joe Flacco, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, Kenny Pickett, and I think there's one other guy who I can't even think of. Yeah, I can see why they struggle. So that makes sense.
Okay. Well, I looked up Jalen Johnson while we were talking here, and apparently it worked out before the game.
Okay.
And seems to be doing okay in that they're optimistic he might be available for week 1.
Okay.
So,
that'd be nice.
Okay. I'll take it.
Yeah, for sure.
Every time I look up at this game, it seems like somebody is streaking across the field and open. Now, that was incomplete, but the play calling is so different.
It's
and what you see
day.
from other teams, and it's interesting to see how they're spreading the love around.
Yeah, it's night and day from what it used to be. Which is fantastic. I just hope the Bears can execute it consistently. That's what you worry about, right?
Let's see it against, real teams, real games, starters, right? All that good stuff.
Yeah, let's see it against the Detroit defense. Let's see it, against the Vikings. Let's see it against Green Bay. Let's see it. I forget if they play the Eagles or not, but I know they play Washington. Let's see it against the Commanders. So Baltimore. I know they got to play Baltimore this year.
And it's tough. I think they're always a tough out, especially with Lamar Jackson. Jeez.
Yeah.
But they still haven't been to a Super Bowl with him.
Yeah. I mean, the Bears have a tough schedule this year. No doubt about it. So,
I found a link.
You would think Lamar would have taken them to a Super Bowl by now, but
hey, you would think.
I forgot about
whatever
that.
reason, hasn't. Yeah.
Oh.
That was just lucky play. That was 2 receivers in the middle of the field. Kind of I think somebody screwed up there because that was not good spacing, but they got bailed out.
Yeah, but still.
So if you watch Bajan's scanning over, I don't know who was 13 and whoever ended up catching it. They're only about 4 or 5 yards apart.
Again, though, I mean, Credit Tyson. That's a solid throw, man. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. Look, I know some people and they're idiots. I don't care what anybody says, but some people in Chicago think that Bajent should actually be the starter, and that's just pure
Okay, they're
stupidity.
idiots.
They're idiots.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this: there are a couple of teams in the NFL where Tyson Bajent could probably start. I mean,
Yeah, like New
I'm
Orleans.
sorry, he could play in New Orleans. That's exactly the team I was thinking of. He could definitely play for the Saints, and there might be another team or two out
Probably
there. But
Cleveland.
yeah,
So I
Yeah,
like that because that's a good segue into this article that I
Okay.
saw on ESPN that was ranking all the positional groups for this year. So the best and worst units, and it's broken down by position. And that's where I saw, okay, the worst quarterback position in the league right now is New Orleans, followed by Cleveland. Those are the two like rankings. Number 1, Baltimore. Number 2, Buffalo.
So they rank Baltimore ahead of Buffalo. So they're saying, I mean,
For the quarterback room. So I'm
Right.
guessing it's not just a starting, but
well, let's see. I don't remember who plays behind Lamar Jackson, but Buffalo.
I can tell you it
is-
doesn't matter.
No, it
Because
really
Lamar Jackson's not
no, it
playing.
really doesn't.
It doesn't
And
matter who's there.
and it doesn't matter for Buffalo either. But Buffalo has Mike White. We saw him earlier, and they have Mitchell Trubisky, so who we're probably going to see here in a few minutes. Another nice throw by Bajent right there. Yeah. Where do they put the Bears?
So the Bears are 20th, in between New England and Seattle, which I think is fair because you need to prove it. Prove
Yes,
you're better than that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, it's not. I mean, it's toward the bottom of the middle, but yeah, you gotta show that you're better than that. And hopefully, that based on what we're seeing tonight, the possibility is there.
Yep. So the top 5 are pretty much what you expect. It's Baltimore, Buffalo, Kansas City, Cincinnati, and Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Right, all-star quarterbacks in that spot.
Yeah,
Washington is number 6 with Jaden Daniels.
I mean, he had a great year last year, right?
Did, but he I feel like I got to go back on the stats again, but I feel like he kind of faded a little bit down the end of the season. But maybe that's just me not thinking directly.
He did, but you got to remember they got to the NFC Championship.
Yeah,
They got to the title game. And maybe that was more of him just not losing. But I think you need to see another year before you can, quote unquote, crown him, if you will.
But still, 6th.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. I think you need to see more. And
Over
I think you
Jared
will.
Goff in Detroit at 10.
Well, I think you got to wonder, what does Goff look like without Ben Johnson? Maybe they're feeding that in. Now you're talking about quarterback room, and I'm not saying the backups matter all that much.
Well, so hold on. This is starting quarterbacks.
Okay.
So I thought it was the quarterback room, but it's by position. So they're just saying let's take a look at starting at quarterback. Well, no, maybe it is quarterback room then. I'm not sure. It must be quarterback room.
Who would you take right now? Would you take Daniels or would you take Goff?
Right now, and I only care about this season.
Yeah.
I think Goff is a better quarterback.
I think so too.
Right now.
Yeah.
So
just the player. Not, I mean, you don't take into account the coaching. You don't take into account, the offensive line, who he throws to. Just the quarterback itself.
Yeah, I think Jared Goff's a better quarterback right now.
Yeah, and I think he's more proven, and I think he is less prone to mistakes. I mean, obviously Daniels is the better athlete, but I think you're right. I think Goff is the better pure quarterback.
So where would you take Brock Purdy on this list? Where do you think he is?
Brock Purdy?
San Francisco 49ers.
I would put him. You said Goff is 10?
Yep.
I would put him, I'm going to say 12.
He is 8th.
Really?
Yeah.
So Daniels is 6th.
Then you've got Stafford.
Stafford, okay, and that they put
Or no,
Purdy.
sorry, that's Chargers. That's what,
Oh,
Herbert.
Justin Herbert. So they put
Yep.
Brock Purdy right after Justin Herbert.
Yep.
Who's 9th?
Tampa Bay. Who's the Tampa Bay quarterback?
Baker Mayfield.
Oh yeah, Baker Mayfield, right. And then
Okay.
Goff. And
Okay.
then what's his face for the Cowboys?
Prescott.
Yeah, Prescott. And then you've got the Rams. So that's Stafford.
That okay.
And then Kyler Murray. And then Tua. And then the Packers. Boo.
Jordan Love.
And then Houston. That rounds out the top 16.
Okay. Purdy 8th. Well, you're a Niners guy. What do you think of that?
I mean, it's hard to argue against, but I don't. I guess what I struggle with this list is Jared Goff being a 10.
I agree.
Feel like he's better than Baker.
I would flip those two, Goff and Purdy.
See, I would put Goff up at 6, and I would bump everyone down 1.
Okay.
That's what I would do. If we're talking just this year. I'm not going to build a team of Goff right now. He's too old. But
right. Here's my thing with Brock Purdy. He does everything well, but he does nothing spectacular. Like he's like your ultimate game manager. Ooh, a little 4th and goal here for TB17. Let's see what they do. Run up the gut and touchdown.
Here we go. Is that Wheeler?
That is Ian Wheeler. Let's go.
All right. So
like
was
the Bears
20, 26, 27,
yeah.
28-0 about to be.
The Bears 2s are dominating the Bills 2s.
Yeah.
So anyhow, back to Purdy. I think Purdy, like I said, is the ultimate game manager, but there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, he's a guy you don't have to worry about. You know he's going to make the right throw more often than not. Good decision maker. You're going to win a lot of football games with him.
Yeah. Especially if you have enough pieces around him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, with the healthy McCaffrey, which I know is always a question mark, but they've got Ayuk, and I'll tell you who really looks good in the preseason. I watched a little bit of his game. It was either yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Is Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah, him coming back from the gunshot injury. He kind of came on towards the end of last year, but that's a cool story too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he's one tough SOB to come back from a gunshot pretty quickly, as I recall, and be productive NFL receiver, and looked really good in the game I saw. So I think he's going to be a decent part of their offense this year. So that'll be good for them.
Yeah, they got a few pieces that are kind of precarious with contracts and stuff. So kind of the window's running out for this set.
Yeah.
We'll see. Apparently I have the Chicago feed for this because it's telling me there's a flash flood warning on LaSalle.
That is true. We got a ton of rain last night. I'm talking in some places like 6 inches. It rained like crazy here last night, and we've had flood warnings all day. There was a little bit of flooding in my neighborhood for a while. This morning you couldn't even get out of the neighborhood because all entrances were blocked. My sump pump has been running all day long, pumping like a champ. Though I gotta admit, because my basement has stayed dry. Knock on wood. A buddy of mine who I work with, his basement did flood. So yeah, it was not good. And huge thunderstorm, lots of lightning, all of it at about 4:00 this morning. So as cool as it was to watch, it was not good for the area. So,
Somebody's hurt.
That didn't look
maybe
good.
Maybe whoever that corner was for the Bears looks like, he was grabbing his knee right away. I love bad weather.
Oh, that's Terrell Smith. That's not good.
I love bad weather. I like if I don't have to be in it, I guess that's one thing, right? But to be at home and have like just a huge, crazy thunderstorm or crazy snow or whatever it may be, that stuff is fun.
I'm with you on that. I like watching a good thunderstorm. I was I got woken up by this huge crack of thunder. And I was up for a little bit watching what was going on. I came downstairs and went out on our screened-in back porch where you can hear the rain. And because it was so windy, I could feel a little bit of the mist coming in. But it was fun to watch the storm out there for a little bit. So that was cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're in injury timeout now because might be more serious, unfortunately, than maybe people were hoping.
If they lose Terrell Smith, then they need Jalen Johnson back week 1. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, let me jump to the cornerbacks.
Oh, hey, yeah.
And see where we're at. Okay. So cornerbacks. Number 1, Baltimore.
Okay.
And the Chicago Bears are 8th in the league.
I was going to say they've got to be top 10.
Yep.
I would say
the worst.
Okay.
No, good.
No, go ahead.
So the worst is Miami. Miami Dolphins have the shakiest cornerback group, and then the Las Vegas Raiders at 31.
Okay.
But you got Baltimore, Houston, the Jets, Philly, Pittsburgh, New England, Buffalo, and then Chicago. That's your top 8 when it comes to cornerback ratings.
I like that. That's just corner. That's not secondary. So that's not safety.
That does not include safety, I don't believe. No, does not.
And I'm assuming that includes nickel, correct? Nickel corner, I would think.
Yes, I believe it would.
Okay, so you got, assuming all starters are in, you got Jalen Johnson, Tyreek Stevenson, and Kyler Gordon. Yeah, I like that group for sure.
For safeties, also 8th is the Chicago Bears. Number 1 is Detroit.
Okay.
And number 2 is Green Bay, then Arizona, then Houston, Baltimore, Denver, the Chargers, and then the Bears. And the worst in the league, or the lowest ranked, is Washington and Kansas City, second from the bottom.
Really?
And Buffalo is the third worst.
Well, the Buffalo secondary is getting lit up in this game. But anyway, let's see. For the Bears, that's Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker. I know Brisker's coming off of a oh man, that doesn't look good.
Brisker's on the card.
Yeah, Brisker's coming off a season-ending concussion injury where he missed like 10 games last year. Supposedly he's completely healthy and has played in the preseason, so that's a good thing. And hopefully he stays healthy, because if he does, then they'll do well. They also have Mr. Simone Biles Olympic gymnast Jonathan Owens as their backup. So, and he's actually pretty good.
All right, let me jump back to this list. I don't want to go over everything. We'll be here all night talking about this, but so I'm just going to pick out the Bears, right? So the Bears quarterback again, 20th. So Caleb at 20th. The running back.
Let me see if I can guess.
Yeah, guess for running back. Where do the Bears rank?
Okay, I'm going to say they're probably pretty far down. I'm going to say about 24th.
That's pretty close. 21.
Okay.
Top ranked Detroit. Bottom ranked Dallas.
Okay. Dallas. Wow.
All right. How about wide receiver? Where do you think the Bears rank there?
Does this include tight ends or no?
It does not.
Okay, so strictly wide receivers. I'm gonna say, I'll go about number 8.
Pretty good. 7.
7. Okay.
So Bears ranked at 7. Top ranked Cincinnati. Kind of hard to argue against Jamar and T. Higgins. And then bottom ranked Las Vegas. I think other than Jacoby Myers that's it. I think that's all he has.
Okay, well, you're one better than I am. I could not name one Raiders.
Well, I couldn't either, but I scrolled and I have the benefit of having the website in front of me.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
All right. How about tight end? Where do you think tight ends rank for the Bears?
I think they got to be pretty high. I'll say 7.
6.
Okay.
Bears, according to ESPN, preseason. Here we are, August 17th, 9:34 p.m. The sixth ranked tight end room.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Number 1, Baltimore, and the worst, the Jets.
Okay, see Baltimore. Yeah, Mark Andrews, stud. And Jets, I have no idea, so it makes sense.
They got a rookie second rounder, Mason Taylor.
Oh,
So I
that's
think
right.
they got to figure something out. Oh, it's Jason Taylor's son. I didn't know
That is. I was
that.
just gonna say that's Hall of Famer Jason Taylor's son.
Okay, offensive line. So this includes the entire offensive line, centers, guards, and tackles. I will tell you, number one is Philadelphia, and the 32nd lowest ranked is the Jacksonville Jaguars. So where do you think the
Okay.
Bears rank from a positional ranking of offensive line for the entire league?
Okay, based on what they did this offseason, I'm going to put them at, I'll say, I keep saying, I'll say 8.
You are woefully wrong.
Woefully. Okay. Are they
Well,
high?
not woefully. You are wrong.
They're higher than that, aren't they?
Yes.
5.
They are third.
Third. Really?
Philly, Denver, Chicago, then Minnesota, Tennessee, and Baltimore. That's your top 6.
Well, seeing what we saw on the first drive, and I know very very small sample size, obviously, but if that's what we're going to see, and I'm not saying you're going to see it every time, but if we're going to see more of that this season, then yeah, number 3, yeah, give it to me. I love it.
Okay, offseason champs.
That's right.
All right, interior defensive line. Number 1 is Seattle, and the worst is my 49ers. Where do you think the Bears rank for interior defensive line?
Interior. So, okay, I'm gonna go with. I think they're pretty far down. I'll say 20.
Pretty close. 18th.
Okay, that's not bad.
I think
That's
fair.
middle of the road. Yeah. All right.
How about edge rushers? With number 1 being Pittsburgh and 32nd being the Washington Commanders or Football Club or Redskins, whichever name we're going to go into it with this year.
Right. Well, let's see. They've got Montez Sweat, and as of right now, not much else. Although Booker has now like 4 sacks on the preseason. I'll say 20.
24th.
Okay.
Is where the Bears rank for edge rusher. And I think if Booker has a good year, he should give part of his next contract to Montez Sweat for drawing all those double teams.
I agree. 100%.
All right. Off-ball linebacker, which is interesting because there isn't a on-ball linebacker. So I'm just going to say this is probably a linebacker position at large. Number 1 is Washington. Number 32 is the Rams. Where the Bears rank?
I'll say 14.
Pretty close. 11.
11. Okay.
Yep. All right. We already covered corner and we covered safety. So overall, the top ranked team is Baltimore, then Philly, then Buffalo, then Kansas City, then Detroit. No surprises there, I think, right? It's kind of the same as like last year.
Yeah.
The worst teams are New Orleans, Cleveland, Las Vegas, Carolina, and Jacksonville. Again, no surprises there. They're always bad, those teams. So where do the Bears rank in the overall assessment of where the positional starters?
For positional starters, let's see.
So overall.
I'm going to say...
Can't include coaching.
Right.
Can't include the water boy. Staley, the bear, doesn't count for this.
Okay, I'm going to say the Bears are number 11.
Pretty close. 8th.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I know that everybody loved their offseason. But I mean, they won what? 4 games last year? Look at Bagent, man.
Dude, you gotta. I think he went out early.
I think he did too.
Unless they count as his last stride, seems to me like he should have gotten a little bit further before he went out.
Yeah, nice scramble though. Let's see, steps up, ducks out of a tackle, and then takes off. Very nice. Yeah, he could have gotten another yard. But
Yeah.
anyway, considering, okay, they won 4 games last year, and then to have the offseason that they did for them in the experts' eyes, I don't know what website you're looking at.
This is ESPN.
Okay, so ESPN. In
Legit.
ESPN,
There's no fake news here.
no. So, obviously a reputable source here. For them to jump all the way to 8th, and
Yeah, that's crazy.
It is crazy. And take it a step further. How many NFC teams are ahead of them? Obviously the Eagles, probably the Commanders.
Yeah. Eagles and Detroit, Minnesota. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
So they're the fourth ranked team in the conference. Granted, two of the 3
two are in their conference.
Are in their
right.
are in their division.
Or in the division, yeah.
So, but hey, that's great. I think we've said it. It all looks good on paper. Off-season champs, give it to me. But we got to see it, right?
Yeah. Well, off-season champs. Let's crown them. We'll crown them now. That's lucky.
Yeah.
You never want to see your quarterback, wrapped up and, fling it wildly like that into the middle of the field. You generally don't have a good outcome, but
no, that usually doesn't work out all that well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to read that though, because that safety was coming and there was nobody to block him. So he's got to throw that way quicker.
Yeah. Cause he had the guy open.
Yes.
But, all right. We got a little 3rd and 1 at the end of the half here. Let's see what happens. Oh, a little run. I like it. Yes. First down. Let's go.
So do you think we'll see a long field goal here? Now that we're kicking 70-yarders in preseasons?
Well, I don't know. I mean, it depends. I mean, we got 39 seconds left. They're right at midfield. They just called their last timeout, but they've got first down. Yep. So I think, let's see, Santos hit a 57-yarder last week. So I think, let's see, 57 yards. So they would have to get to the 40. So another 10 yards, maybe?
Yeah, roughly. I think they need 10 or 15 yards.
Yeah.
I think they're still on the bad side of the 50, but we talked about this last time. That kid hit the 70-yard field goal. What a game-changing, plan. If you have if you consistently have a guy, 70 is obviously a lot, but let's say you hit consistently 60.
Oh,
you just got to scratch the inside of the 50 and you're kicking.
Yeah, it's a game changer right there. If you got a guy who can hit 60-yard field goals consistently, there's a flag. That'll probably be a hold.
Which is too bad because they would be definitely in field goal range now.
Yeah, for sure.
After that scramble. Oh, well, it's preseason.
It is the preseason. That's right. I would like to see them go for it personally, but at the end of the half, I guess the kicker needs preseason too, so why not? But now you're looking at 1st and 15, and they need about 18 yards to get to the 40. So,
I think they need more than that. I think they need like 25 yards because they were at the 45, weren't they?
Oh, that was a 10-yard
their
penalty.
Own 45.
Yeah, holding's a 10-yard. I forget, holding used to be 5 yards, but now it's 10. So, yeah, they're 1st and 20 from their own 37, looks like. Yep. So
they need a chunk here.
Yeah, they do.
But so let's say what percentage are they calling this a fumble?
Oh, that's not a fumble.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
His arm was going forward.
Yes. All right, fat guy, go ahead and celebrate. It's coming back.
Yeah, right.
Good for you. That's great.
Yeah, that's not a fumble.
So let's say you've got a kicker with a strong leg, right? And let's say they have the capability to kick 70, but not 100% accuracy, obviously. What percentage accuracy would you be looking for to say, yes, we're going to go for it from 60 anytime that we get it?
I would say
what I mean by that is like 50-50. Is it you want 75%? And let's say you are the coach of this Chicago Bears unit. I'm going to guess you're going to have a little bit lower threshold to want to kick.
Well, it obviously depends on the time of the game. It depends on the score. There's a lot of factors that go into the thought process of kicking a long field goal, obviously. But I generally, if it's just pure kicking ability,
So I want you to think of the tush push.
Sure.
They go for it all the time, right? So it's that kind of mentality. Is your default position is that you're going to kick the field goal rather than punt?
Yes.
For what range of field goal?
I think,
what percentage of field goal accuracy?
Okay, from just pure 60 yards, if my kicker
60 yards.
Yeah, if my kicker is 50% or better, I'm kicking it. 50-50.
All right.
Because
I can get behind that.
Because if he misses, again, time of the game, all that, the score, all that stuff. But, the other thing is, do you trust your defense if he misses?
That's the big part. That's even bigger, I think, than the actual, can you make the kick?
Yes. And if he does miss, you're already in field goal range going the other way.
Right. So at what point do we get to spot, right, where neither team can move the ball on offense and you just have two kickers in the middle of the field,
right?
Trading 60-yarders back and forth.
Yeah. How crazy would that be? Same line of scrimmage. One guy kicks, misses. The other guy kicks and makes it.
All right. Well, they're going to spike it here at about the 50.
Let's see.
Got 10 seconds. Third and 7. So what do you think? Are they going to bomb it here?
I think you got one play to the sideline because obviously you're out of timeouts, and I don't think you could go to the middle of the field because you won't have time to spike it. But I think they go one play to the sideline, and if they get it, I think you kick it.
They could run a hook and ladder.
Oh, it's 4th and 7. Excuse me.
This is it.
Oh,
I say kick it. Kick the field goal. Come on. Let's see what kind of leg Santos has.
I have a feeling they're going to go for it.
Yeah, I'm sure they will, but
nobody
needs
flag.
To get hurt. There's a flag, and that's everything you didn't want to have happen.
Yeah, right.
on a play.
Well, it depends. I mean, if it's a defensive penalty, that might change things. I don't know what the flag is, but
didn't execute.
No, he didn't. They got in there pretty quickly. I mean, you got to have pretty good pass protection for guys to get all the way down the field from 50 yards. I mean, it takes a little bit for that to happen.
That's a 4 or 5 second play to be able to launch it that far.
Yeah, I mean, hell, at this point, the Bears might take a knee. I don't even know. I mean, why?
Well,
why?
I mean, that's probably the right thing to do in the in a preseason game where it doesn't matter. So with the false start, they're backed up. Doesn't make sense. Why risk another injury? You've already lost one player.
Right. Yeah. It looks like there were a couple penalties on that one. So and with the camera on Ozzie Trapillo, maybe that didn't go very well. So and looks like maybe Luther Burden took a penalty as well. I have no sound on, so I don't know, what's going on. But so
just tell by the body language of the players.
Yeah. Yeah. My guess is they take a knee here. Oh, wait a minute. No, I'm sorry. Turnover on downs. It looks like we're going to get a Buffalo kick.
All right. Well, let's see. How far is this one?
They're
potential not for a shutout. So what do we got? They're
56 yards.
56 yards.
Oh, definitely makeable. Chip shot.
Yeah. Yeah, you can hit this, Jay.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, sure. Nope, missed.
Oh, missed it. All right.
Plenty of leg.
The shutout still lives.
That's right.
Still the offseason champs.
Just right size, wrong shape.
Yep.
All right, so the Bears going to halftime 28-0. You have to be ecstatic with how things are going right now.
Yeah. Man, I'd like to see Caleb smile here as he's walking back, but that's all right. All business.
Yeah.
All right. I saw what I want to see. This is just garbage. This is, players fighting for positions and trying to make the team. But I'm impressed by that first quarter. I think we got to see a lot more of the playbook, starters, and not bad, man. Not bad.
Yeah, I think Caleb finished 6 for 10. I think it was like 10 yards or something like that. I think QB rating of 130, touchdown pass. Probably should have had one more completion. Dunze had a drop, but it looked super crisp. It looked the way it was supposed to look, which is very encouraging.
Yep.
They,
So Frank Gore Jr. is a running back for the Buffalo team. That
yeah,
really the son of Frank Gore,
the
legendary Frank Gore.
the son of recently retired Frank Gore. He was playing up until a couple of years ago.
Dude, how old are we that
I
we're now
know.
seeing the sons of the players that we grew up watching
Well, we talked about
playing?
yeah, we talked about Mason Taylor, son of Jason Taylor. I remember when Jason Taylor played. You mentioned Frank Gore Jr., Shador Sanders, obviously. You know, we saw Dion in his prime. I'm sure there are others out there, but yeah, it's pretty crazy
It's nuts.
in our
I don't
advanced
like
age.
it.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
know.
like it, Jim. I mean, everyone
Yeah.
knows you and your advanced age, but I'm not. I'm not old. Come on,
Well, you haven't hit, yeah, because you haven't hit the 5-0 yet. Not
I
yet.
have not. I have not. I got another year still, so we'll see what happens. But
How do
maybe
you
that do
how
the
do you
wheels just magically fly off?
how do you feel about approaching 50?
I'm ambivalent. I don't care.
Yeah.
Age is just a number, bro. Mentally, I'm still a 17-year-old. So
Yeah, as am I, and that's on a good day because a lot of times mentally, my wife would tell you I act like I'm 12. So yeah, uh, so you're gonna turn what 40? You'll turn
I'll be
49,
49 later this year.
49
Yep.
in December. Okay, and I'll be 52 in November.
Oof. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I know. I gotta tell you though, 50 didn't really bother me at all. I didn't really
Yeah.
think about it. It hit me and it was like, yeah, okay, no big deal. 40
Yeah. What are you
didn't
gonna do?
yeah.
What are you
I
gonna
mean,
do? Okay, I'm not gonna turn 50. Okay.
yeah,
You don't have a choice.
yeah,
It's just the way it works, man.
Father Time is undefeated.
It is
Um,
undefeated. Yep.
yeah, but you know, a lot of people get bothered by age and things like that. You know what? 40 didn't bother me, 30 didn't bother me. So yeah, you just kind of go with it. And you know, I guess I'm at where I'm supposed to be in life, and you know, life's good. So
Yeah, I feel the same.
yeah.
You know, the health is, pretty decent shape. I am reaching for reading glasses far more than I want to.
Uh-huh.
If that's, the worst thing I have going, then I'm doing all right.
Yeah. Hey, I am the beneficiary of bifocals. I'm with you. I've had them for a couple of years, and as soon as I got them, I understood why I needed them because yes, they do make a huge difference for me. But I've been wearing glasses since I was in like 7th grade, so it's not like that's a new thing for me. But yeah, I mean everything else is hanging in there. You know, obviously we had a couple procedures done that we've talked about and were not fun, but it's part of the gig, I guess. So just keep trucking, keep moving along.
Yeah. So Kurt Menefee and Edelman are on here. What is on Edelman's neck? It looks like he had a tracheotomy. He's got like a bandage over his throat. Do you see this?
Yeah, what's going on there?
I don't know.
I mean, he can't. It's not like he can't be covering up a hickey, not with a Band-Aid that big. So yeah, I wonder what
Right.
happened there.
I don't know. I'm sure the internet's probably an overdrive, and they probably addressed it at some point with.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, I don't know how you can't, but man, that's like the right spot right over your throat. And we go on a bender in Vegas, and somebody had to poke a hole with a Sharpie, or a ballpoint pen, and help him breathe.
Yeah, boy. I mean, I'm surprised that it's that evident. But wow, Dante Pettis, ex Bears preseason hero.
Yeah, now he's playing for New Orleans. Sorry, dude.
You know who else is playing for New Orleans is Velus Jones Jr.
No wonder they're bad.
Yeah, exactly.
When you have the cast off from the Chicago Bears,
That's right.
Two wide receiver cast offs. It's probably not a strong position to be in.
It's where ex Bears go to die.
Yeah.
But yeah, that Band-Aid is like screaming at me right now. Now that you pointed it out,
yeah, I don't know how you cannot see it.
Yeah, now that you pointed it out, I can't take my eyes off it.
Yep.
So,
all right, I got one other thing for you. My list is short this week, but I was listening to a comedian the last couple of days, and I was like, you know what? She's pretty damn funny, and it got me thinking. Who is your favorite female comedian? Because we talk an awful lot about the guys.
We do.
And I think there's historically been this thing where, and I don't necessarily agree with it, that women aren't funny, or women comic struggle maybe with, material or approach or something, and don't seem to be as popular. Now, there's obviously some exceptions with that, but it got me thinking, who is your favorite female comedian working right now?
Oh man. Okay. Now, would you include? Are you just you're talking like actual comedian, or would you
Yes.
say, or would you throw like comedy actress in there as well?
No, I would say primarily a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
They may be in movies or they might be TV stuff, but primarily they are a stand-up comedian.
Okay. I've always appreciated Sarah Silverman.
Okay. Which is interesting because she's pretty raw sometimes.
She is. But I think that makes her, that's her act. And I think she's very funny.
So I can only take her in very small doses.
Okay. There's also, what the hell's her name?
I'd say describe her, but we don't want to get canceled.
No, yeah. Well, then okay, then you probably know who I'm talking about. She was very famous comedian, and it's a shame I'm drawing a blank on her name. I think it's Amy somebody.
Amy Schumer?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, I like
she
her.
had a little bit of a moment like 20 years ago, I feel like early 2000. Yeah, like I would say in the 2000s, she was kind of out there. She was kind of following the Sarah Silverman act, right? Kind of language and content was not what you would typically hear from female comedians at the time. But yeah, no, and she had a good show. Was it Inside Amy Schumer? I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and her movies are solid. I'll be honest with you, she's a hysterical interview. Because she's very dry, and a lot of her humor is very subtle when she's sitting down with somebody having a conversation. But you're just
sarcasm is what does it.
Yeah, she has a lot of wit. Like she's very witty and very quick with the humor. So I think that's what makes her good. There's others out there that I'm just drawing a blank on, but I know there are many female comedians that are good.
Well, let me throw a name out there.
Yeah.
That was recently on a roast, and that would be, where is she at? Nikki Glaser.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
She's having kind of a year right now because the Tom Brady roast really kind of pumped her out there. And she's done other roasts. She's always been good, but the Tom Brady roast, I think, really pumped her into a different stratosphere.
Yeah, because wasn't she she was like the MC for that one, right? Like the...
No, I think wasn't Kevin Hart the MC for that?
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. But she had just a killer set.
She was good on that. She was very good on the roast of Alec Baldwin. She was very good. What is it? I think it was Bruce Willis, Rob Lowe. She's very good on the
she's
roast.
One of the the pack of standards for the roast on Comedy Central.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean she's again raunchy at times, and but obviously very intelligent, very creative.
She's funny.
Yeah, she's very entertaining, no doubt about it.
How about Taylor Tomlinson? Of the formerly Midnight Show, but now she's back to her stand-up.
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who she is. So she was a comedian. She got a little bit popular, and then she really kind of rose to fame over the last, I would say, year. She was doing the show after the Colbert Show, which is kind of like a game show. It was a reboot of a game that they used to do on, I think it was Comedy Central, with Chris Hardwick after midnight. And they'd have a main host, which is what her role was, and then 3 comedian actors kind of doing one-liners based off of different either prompts or things in the news or things like that.
Okay.
I would say decent. She's got some good stuff. I see some clips of her every once in a while, but she's definitely hot right now.
Okay. You know what? There are others. I can't think of their names.
I'm sure.
I'm trying to look them up.
Well, we're going to bring awareness to them. So how about Ali Wong? Have you ever seen Ali Wong?
I have. Yes.
So she's great. She's got two great specials on Netflix.
Yeah. What is it? Baby Cobra and Hard
Baby
Knock
Cobra and
Life.
Hard Knock Life. Yeah,
I'm looking them right now.
yeah.
Um,
And isn't she dating Bill Hader?
yes.
Yeah. So
In
that's
fact,
a funny house.
they might be married actually.
I don't really. I don't know. That would be news to me.
Uh,
We're gonna have to hire a celebrity correspondent to have a who's dating who segment on the FOJ show.
yeah, I mean, and believe me, there are some out there that I do not care for. Like Wanda Sykes, I don't get her.
She's okay. I find her a little bit annoying. I think she's a better actor than stand up, personally.
I have a name, and Chelsea Handler, I know she's popular with a lot of people, but I don't get her either.
She's okay.
Yeah. All right. So I'm trying to, if this is who I think it is, I think this woman is hilarious. So I gotta put a name to a face here. Do
Okay.
you know who I think her name is? Eliza Schlesinger?
Eliza Schlesinger. I do know who she is. I don't necessarily care for her.
Okay.
But she's been around for a while.
Okay. And then this woman has been around for a long time. And I always thought she was pretty good as a Margaret Cho.
Again, I think she's a better actor
Okay.
than stand up for me personally. She's a good sidekick, is the way I kind of see her.
How about from a lot of the earlier roasts? So what's her fate? That Lisa Lampanelli.
I loved Lisa Lampanelli. And then she was absolutely brutal on roasts. And then something happened. I think she got called out on something and kind of stopped doing it.
Yeah,
she totally changed like her approach to comedy.
Okay. Because she was like the butt of a ton of jokes and a lot of sex jokes and all that kind of stuff. And she was a great sport, obviously.
But she was the queen of mean. Yes, they call her on the roast, and she was brutal. And I thought she was really funny. But yeah, something happened. I want to say within the last like decade, and I think she retired from stand up and kind of stopped doing what she was doing. Yeah,
fell off the face of the earth, so to speak.
Yes, something like that. She's lost a bunch of weight, so
really
good for her.
Okay,
she was fantastic. I thought, when she, I thought the roast was like her sweet spot.
Yeah.
All right, I got a name for you.
Okay.
I want to know where you fall. If you've ever heard of her, Michelle Wolf.
The name sounds kind of familiar. I'm going to Google her while we're talking.
Okay. So she was on The Daily Show for a little bit. She's done some stand-up things. And I always thought she was really funny. She's got a couple really good like stand-up specials.
I know who this is. Yes.
Yeah. She has that kind of annoying voice. I think that either you love it or hate it. There's nothing in the middle.
Yes.
But if you can get past that, I think she's a brilliant stand-up. Very smart. And I think she's very talented. And something happened on my YouTube feed, and she started showing up in YouTube shorts. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to give you the old subscribe, Michelle, because you're doing good work. So, with that, I'm also going to give her, I think, probably, the FOJ listener of the week, Michelle Wolf.
I like it. Maybe if we could get word to Miss Michelle Wolf that she is the FOJ listener, maybe she would become an actual FOJ listener.
No higher honor, as far as I'm concerned.
I'm with you. That ranks right up there with, I think, a most valuable player award, maybe an Oscar, and anything that's worthy of top billing, I guess.
That's it. That's the peak. Michelle Wolf, if you're listening and you don't know who she is, give her a listen. See what you think. But I find her really entertaining.
I agree. I'm with you on that. I'll second that one.
Okay. I did not watch Receiver on Netflix. I got sucked into The Lazarus Project, which is a British show on Netflix about time travel, kind of sci-fi sort of murder mystery kind of thing. So I've been binging that for the last couple of days.
That's your
but
speed.
I did not watch receiver.
I didn't either. I got sucked into a new documentary, obviously sports. And it just follows the 2024 season in the SEC for college football. Jeremy and I have been watching that, and yeah, kind of interesting. Just some behind the scenes behind with LSU and Vanderbilt and Arkansas, just how college kids prepare and what their life is off the field and game week and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's interesting. It's not the most compelling thing, obviously. I don't think it's as good as quarterback or receiver or anything like that, but I'll tell you what, man, the life you get to live as an SEC football player in college is pretty damn good.
They get paid now too, so that helps.
They get paid. They are the celebrities on campus. I'll argue how often they go to class. They get, they live large. These guys, like you said, they get paid, so they drive nice ass cars. They don't pay a dime to go to school. None of that stuff. I mean, it is truly living life like a celebrity in college as, like 18, 19-year-old kid.
Do all players get paid or only some of them?
I think all players are eligible to get paid. I think it's a matter of what their popularity level is. I know they can.
So not getting paid by the school, really. It's more like sponsorships and
endorsements, things like that. Like, for instance, Caleb Williams came out of college making way more money than his rookie contract, right? Yeah. So, but I don't think, the third string punter on USC was making the money that Caleb Williams was, but
right.
But what is it? I think a Division I football team can have, I think it's 85 kids on scholarship. So, obviously on scholarship,
that's a lot of kids.
It is a lot. It's too many.
An entire team.
Yeah. Now, I understand that in most cases, the football team and maybe the men's basketball team basically fund the entire athletic program at a school. So the argument is these kids, and I do think they deserve to be paid something. Some of the money is a little outrageous, but when you're generating that kind of revenue for the school and allowing other kids to participate in other sports and, everything that comes with college sports, I guess you deserve it to an extent. So,
that part of the social contract of being a D1 basketball football player, knowing that really what you're getting is the education, right? But also the chance potentially to be drafted.
Right.
There's a lot of players that don't get drafted.
No, you're right. I mean, there are, I don't know how many Division I schools there actually are. And most of, almost, at least in the NFL, almost all draft picks come out of Division I. And it's probably the same for basketball and for baseball. But, hey, Mitchell Trubisky on the field for Buffalo. Welcome back, Mitch. What was I trying to say? I totally lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. Trubisky came on my screen and just killed everything for me.
And you got flustered there, man. I know. You need a moment.
He has that effect on me. What can I say? No. So
it's the D1 players.
D1 players. Those are the ones that get drafted. I'm not saying all of them do, but they have the best chance to get drafted, right? So, and let's be honest. These athletes, I'm not saying all of them, but most of them probably aren't the best students. And I'm not saying that, I'm not trying to criticize anybody. I'm not sure, whatever, but
no, I think that's fair because they've probably spent more time focusing on their
Yeah,
craft,
on the
right? Which is
sport.
football, basketball, whatever sport they're playing versus being in school. Are there exceptions? Yes, of course.
Yeah, but let's be honest. If you're okay, let's just say you're drafted to the football to the NFL, drafted to the league. You hang around for, I mean, I think the average NFL career is, believe it or not, is a little less than 4 years. But
Yeah, it's like that.
um, you hang around for 6, 7, 8 years on an average NFL salary. If you play it right, if you're not an idiot with your money, you could parlay that into making that last a long time.
If you're living
So
a frugal life, yes.
yes, yeah, if you're doing things intelligently and not, blowing your money on cars and houses and, every expensive thing in the world, you you don't need the degree, right? You don't need it. What are you going to do with it? Do you think a lot of these guys, when they're done playing, are going out and working a real job?
I think some of them, I think a lot of them have to.
So, some of them do, but I'm saying like, do you think Mitch Trubisky's going to go work a real job when he's done playing? He's been
No,
in the
but
league for how long?
he's been good enough though to stick in the league for a few years now.
Right.
Even as a backup. Like if he plays his cards right, he will continue to be a backup, milk that as long as he can, assuming he doesn't get another starting shot, right? Or doesn't improve or whatever it may be. And then he'll have enough money to either retire, which he will have to retire, but retire and do nothing, or he stays in the game somehow as a quarterback's coach or, locker room guy or something like
Or
that.
he goes and coaches high school somewhere. That kind of thing.
Something. Right.
Yeah.
But he'll have made enough money over the multiple years that he's been in the league now. So the median NFL salaries are about $860,000
Okay.
per year. And let's
Per
say
year.
you spend 3 to 4 years in the league. That's really not a lot
Okay, so that's
because you're probably not making 860 unless you're, I would say, you're probably in the bottom third if that's what you're making for the NFL, because you have stars who are completely blowing away the average.
for sure. But you're making, okay, so over a 4-year period, you're making roughly, you said 860, so you're making roughly $3.4 million.
$3.5 million. Let's call it $3.5 million.
$3.5
as
million.
kind of the average career.
Now, in that tax bracket, they're probably taking half of it, I would guess.
Probably. They're probably taking, let's say you're only going to take home about 50% of that based off of agent fees,
right?
Taxes, insurance, something like that.
Okay, so now you're talking about 1.75 million. Do you think if you played your cards right and invested wisely, and whether it's you invested in business or you invested in stocks, mutual funds, IRAs, whatever it would be, could you, if you started with $1.75 million, could you, and let's say you're 20, okay, so for 4 years, let's say you're 26 years old, could you make that last the rest of your life?
Could you make it last? Yes. But we're talking a very frugal life.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you can own a home, honestly, with that amount of money.
Okay.
Because home prices are ridiculous. What would you buy if you had, let's say you had, let's say $1.75 million, right? That was the number.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you were going to buy a house, where would you be able to buy a house that wouldn't immediately suck up half of that?
Now, well, here's the question. Would you pay cash for that house because you had the money, or would you mortgage it?
I think it depends on interest rates and what you can get. So right now, interest rates below.
or put a huge down payment on it.
Right. And you're eating up a huge chunk of your money, buy a house. That's why I think could you live on it? Yes. But I think you're living the van life or you're renting a small apartment, right? Or buying a very small condo or something like that. I think if you can, buy something, because home prices tend to go up.
Yeah,
and
buying
appreciation, things like that.
Yeah, buying is obviously a better investment than renting if you can.
If you can, but I think there is something to be said about if you're renting, you're not on the hook for a whole bunch of other expenses either.
Oh, right. You're not on the hook for maintenance. You're not on the hook
Right.
for,
Holes in your roof,
yeah.
all that stuff,
So,
right? Yeah.
yeah. And there's a definite argument for that for sure. I mean, you and I are both homeowners. I mean, you just went through what
Yep.
you did with the leak in your ceiling and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. Um,
And you can be more upwardly mobile. Let's call it. Let's say you're renting.
mm-hmm.
It's very difficult to move if you own a house.
It
It's
is.
easy to move if you're renting because you're on a kind of a fixed time.
You could
Yeah,
just
you
pick
could
up.
rent long
Yeah.
term, but yeah, it's like, hey, yeah, I'm going to move to Amsterdam. All
Yeah.
right,
You
see
you
ya.
just pick up and
Away
go.
from my away from my lease to expire at the end of the year or whatever term I've signed up for,
Right.
and move on.
It is more difficult to move when you own. And I can personally say that because when we bought our first house in Bolingbrook, way back when, and then decided to move out here to Plainfield, we were having this house built. And while it was being built, we had our house up for sale. And obviously there was a little bit of a nervous time as to, okay, what if we sell it right away and the house isn't ready? What are we going to do? That kind of thing.
Right.
Well, we ran into it the other way where our house was done, ready to be moved in, and we hadn't sold our house yet. So, the builder gave us a drop dead date of, hey, we'll hold this house for this long, but after that, we've got to put it on the market, that kind of thing, because it's here and it's a dead asset if you're not living in it, which totally made sense. So yeah, there was a nerve-wracking time of about, if I remember right, a little over a month to where, we needed to get the house sold. Now, luckily, a young couple came and, with some creative financing, and I think it was some seller financing on our side, got the deal done and we were able to move and, no harm done. But, yeah, there's a lot more nerve-wracking moments when you own as opposed to renting. So.
Yeah. So I think that's why I don't think in today's climate you could live on 1.75 million
Okay.
with a comfortable lifestyle. I would think it would have to be a very meager Spartan lifestyle. And yeah, you take that money and you invest it,
Yeah.
and if you're investing, you're playing the very long game. So what portion of that do you invest versus what do you keep to live on? So I think I just don't think that's a lot of money.
Yeah, it's tough.
These guys have a long career, like they have a long life after them too.
They
so
do.
let's say it is of somebody just coming out of school, right? And let's say they only last in the season, 4 seasons in a league. They're probably coming out that league at what, 27, 28 years old, maybe 29. What are they going to do for the next 30, 40, 50 years?
Well, let's see. Rookie contracts are what, 4 years with a 5th-year option. So when you're drafted, you're in for 4 years. Yeah. What do you do?
You sell insurance.
Well, yeah, and some of these guys, especially these guys who come out early, a year early, they don't have college degrees. Some of them go get them in the off season, or some of them go back to school after they're done playing, which is probably wise if you have to go get a job. But I'm sure some of these guys, unfortunately, fall back into whatever it was they were doing before they were playing college and pro football. And because as well as I do, a lot of these guys come from nothing.
Yeah.
And football is their only way out of whatever their situation was.
You got to have a really strong support system around them.
Oh, 100%.
Your posse, right? And all that stuff.
Yeah. You can't have, 10, 20 other guys on your payroll,
right?
Which I know some of these guys do.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you fall into the money that some of these guys make, and all of a sudden everybody's your best friend. And all of a sudden you've got, 10 cousins you didn't know about and all that stuff that supposedly need help. And you can't, and I know that they do, like conferences and presentations,
like trainings and things like that.
Yeah. On finances and, keeping people away and saying no and, hiring the right people and having the right people in your life and cutting people off that, just come out of the woodwork and all that kind of thing. So it's not
Meanwhile,
easy.
you're 23 years old, you're a professional athlete, and all the benefits that comes with, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm staying with it. It's not enough money. Need more.
Okay. So here we go. 40-yard field goal attempt here. So you
Still
think a lot of
28-0.
so you think a lot of these guys do probably go get jobs when they're done playing.
Yeah, I think they do. There was one guy that I know of. He played tight end in the NFL, and now he's like a senior part of like a regional bank up in Wisconsin. Actually,
Okay.
somebody I know. I don't know him, but I know the bank and I know the people that he works with. And he played tight end in the NFL, played a few years, and now he's like an executive at a bank.
Okay.
Probably not making NFL money for sure.
Right.
Probably doing fine, but small bank, in Southeast Wisconsin.
Nice. I've heard that NFL linemen tend to be the most intelligent,
Mhm.
most educated after the fact they become, like you said, executives or finance people, or they go on to own businesses and own companies and things like that. For whatever reason, some of the skill guys just don't, and they're the ones that tend to struggle a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. It's like
I don't know either. I really
offensive
don't.
line tends to be like the brains, and I don't know if that's
Yeah.
because of the position and being able to diagnose, plays or whatever. Because it's not just block the guy in front of you. It's right there. They're reading the defense just as much as the quarterback. But yeah, you get a lot of really smart offensive line and defensive line players, and you see them all the time on TV. They come back as analysts, and they're super articulate and all that good stuff. And I don't know what that is. I mean, it doesn't make sense because you associate, big beefcakes right at that position. So don't stereotype, I guess, is my lesson is for me.
I wonder if, because a lot of offensive linemen are not in the limelight, like they're not focused on, they're not, I don't want to say they're not talked about, but they're not featured guys, whereas skill players, they're always talked about. They get, they usually get the big money up front. They're in the news. They're the ones that are interviewed. They're the ones that get the features and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you're seeing some of these contracts on the screen right now. You got a running back up there, you got a receiver up there, Josh Allen, all that kind of thing. There's not one offensive lineman on this list, but I think offensive linemen are kind of more maybe grounded. And because they're more grounded, they kind of are more real and get with real life. I could be going off on a tangent here, and this could be nothing, but you just don't hear a whole lot about offensive linemen and what they do, right? They're like the everyman, right? They're the working man on the team. And,
well, I think that's fair. It's like don't see, like, look at any NFL team. Name me one team that has a offensive lineman as like their star player and is like the face of the franchise.
There isn't one.
Right.
There isn't one. The only guy that came close, and it wasn't even because of him playing football, was Jason Kelce.
And that didn't really happen until after he was out of the league.
Right. And that didn't.
Now he's a podcaster.
Yeah. And it's mainly because of who his brother's girlfriend is. So,
right. He's really good. I think Jason's a really good NFL analyst. Like when he's out there, he's this new generation kind of raw and not a polished, right, like by the book person. So he's good at what he does for sure. But no, nobody knew who he was until the end of his career and, that last Super Bowl, and that was it.
Right.
But even then, he wasn't the face of the franchise.
No, nobody knew who he was. Nobody knew who his wife was. None of that. And
he can go shopping and not have to wear a disguise.
Yeah, well, I don't know about now. He's
now it's different, but he's I mean,
when he
he's
was
a
playing,
media person now.
when he was
Yeah.
playing, yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of these guys could.
Yeah.
But I don't think Caleb Williams could walk out of his house without getting,
Right.
questioned or,
Yeah.
any of that kind of thing. So
Unless you're like a real fan, right? And you see these guys out, and part of that I think is the NFL, because you're wearing a helmet.
yeah,
You're not as visually recognizable unless your helmet's off, which means you're doing an interview, which means you're probably a skill position player or the rare chance, right, an offensive lineman or somebody like that, or gets some face time.
right. I mean, years ago when I was working at Stir Crazy in Schaumburg, which was at Woodfield Mall, it was like a middle of a Tuesday afternoon, middle of the afternoon. All of a sudden, Matt Forte, his wife, and I think they had an infant daughter walk into our restaurant, and nobody knew who they were. I knew it because
It's crazy because of how important, how big he was for the team.
Yeah, I knew who he was because I was a big Bears fan back then and all that. But the interesting thing was, not one person went up to him. Nobody bothered him. Nobody said anything to him. I didn't either. I mean, I figured, hey, the guy's in the restaurant. He's with his family. Well, let him do his thing. He's out like he has the right to be out like anybody else. And I understand that, when you're an athlete or you're an actor or you're a celebrity that's in the know and all that kind of thing, it's kind of part of the gig, right? It comes with it, unfortunately. But I would hope that most people would respect the privacy, respect the guys, with his family. And it was no big deal. He came in, enjoyed his meal, paid his bill, tipped the server very well, and left. And that was it. And nobody said a word to him except for the server who interacted with him. So, it's cool.
So what's a subtle way that you could acknowledge that was Matt Forte? And here's my idea. So you can't steal it from me.
Okay.
So doing something with his food, not in a bad way, but like his jersey number. Like, hey, I know who you are. Little nod. Maybe you arrange the fries in a certain way, right? Or a drizzle of something with the jersey number. It's like, hey, man, I recognize you. I'm not going to bother you, but just know I recognize you. Something like that.
I think the way I would do it is, so if I recall, his number was 22. I would, am I the server? Am I the manager? Or does it matter?
Anything. You could be in anywhere there, and you can put whatever position you want in, but you got to subtly acknowledge that you know who they are.
Okay, here's what I would do. If I was the food server, I would, I would treat him like anybody else when I was walking in. But when I presented the check, I would write on the check, hey, 22, something to the effect that, hey, I'm a huge fan, or, go Bear, number 22, go Bears, that kind of thing.
So I'm going to disqualify that because I feel like that's passing a note.
Well, yeah. You said subtle. So, okay, so I've got to do it without.
For sure, but I want something a little more creative.
Wow. Okay.
And maybe my idea is a good one. I don't know.
It is a good one. Let's see. I worked at an Asian stir fry place at the time, and that's where he walked into. So, boy, I don't know how else I would do it. How would you do it?
I told you I would do something with like food or arranging or something, not in a bad way, but like a little subtle nod, nod. Something like that. Like maybe I'd arrange, I don't know, sugar packets or something like that.
Like in the bear, like the C of the Bears logo, that kind of thing.
Yeah, either that or like his jersey number, or or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe it's if he's getting a salad or something where I can layer on, coffee. I put his number on there and cream right at the top, right? Like the artists do with like coffee, like that kind of thing. Like something like that.
Yeah, that's cool. And okay, what would you hope to get out of that?
Nothing, just a nod.
Yeah, I was gonna say if like you did it and he looked over and just kind of gave you the nod, like just to give you the quick chin up and with a smile, that'd be good enough for me. I don't need an autograph. I don't need oh my God, will you sign my
Yeah.
checkbook or that stuff? I don't need any of that. Just a quick nod and smile and be like, yeah, that's cool.
I
Yeah,
think a picture, maybe, but no,
okay.
not it. I'm not a big celebrity worship kind of person. So
Yeah, I'm not
things
either.
like autographs and signed game balls, right, and all the other stuff, don't really do anything for me. It's more of, hey, that's kind of a neat memory, like my interaction with Tosh Gibson, my
Yes,
friend Tosh
I was just going to bring
of
that up.
Chicago Bulls.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was like he's flying a plane. Nobody recognized him. I was the only person on the plane who did.
Uh-huh.
And I think the guy sitting next to him was part of the NBA as well because he had like an NBA shirt on. But
Okay.
yeah, nobody recognized him. But hey, I just kind of was Tosh. Like, yeah, I'm like, all right, cool. That was it. And then I kind of, I did, the spur of the moment, I typed up a little thing in my notepad on my phone and just kind of showed it to him and, made his day. Definitely, brightened up. And then he prompted me to take a picture.
I think that, I was just going to say that. I think athletes probably appreciate the fact that you leave them alone.
Yeah.
And that if you do something subtle, maybe they'll come up to you and shake your hand and be like, hey, I appreciate you giving me the space. Would you like a picture?
I think it depends on the player too, right?
It totally.
Yeah. Does. I mean, let's be honest, right? Taj Gibson's not an all-star and he's on the backside of his career. And, for me to call him out as a Chicago Bull when he was playing for the Hornets, Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah.
That was kind of like, oh, okay, this guy's actually a fan and not just like a hanger on or whatever it may be.
Hey, he remembered me.
Right, yeah, exactly. And and he was legitimately exciting, right? That thing. So I think that's part of it, right? Now, if it's different, if like, let's say it's Patrick Mahomes, he's not gonna give a shit. He's not gonna remember me.
No.
There is no value at all in that interaction other than me as a memory to say, oh yeah, I met him. Or the time I saw Darryl Strawberry hanging outside of the gate with me at Atlanta Airport and he took a picture of me and that was it. I forget about it because it wasn't that memorable other than, oh yeah, I did meet Darryl Strawberry once at the Atlanta Airport on my way to Minnesota.
Yeah, it's funny because you have to wonder how much athletes really want that. Probably a lot of them would love to be able to go places and not be recognized, to be left alone. And because as well as I do, I mean, athletes and celebrities, there's some of them who can't even leave their freaking house without getting hounded. And as great as, you make millions and all that kind of stuff, that's got to suck. And I understand that it comes with it, but it's got to suck. If you can't leave your house.
I think the reason it sucks is because people don't know how to establish boundaries and be, an actual decent human being. And they think that they are a product on tap for whenever they want it.
Yeah. Like, it's got to suck if you say you want to go to the grocery store or, hey, I want to go to the movies or I want to, take my family out to go bowling or, we want to go walk the mall. You can't do it. That would suck. And you're like, just kind of tied to your house. And I understand, guys like Michael Jordan have these big ass houses with basketball courts and bowling alleys and weight rooms and home theaters and all that shit. And I used to think, they're just gaudy and they have everything, blah, blah, blah. I think a lot of them do it because they really can't leave the house to go do that stuff anywhere else. So
yeah,
I get it.
I think the mega celebrities for sure. Like there's lots of that makes sense. But those are extremely rare to be that mega of a celebrity that you can't do anything. And it's not just, it's really anybody who's famous. You can imagine like Barack Obama trying to walk around.
Right.
Like that's not going to happen.
Well, and in his case, there are some people who might not react positively to him, for whatever reason.
Politics is going to take it one way or another, but
yeah, exactly. But I know what you're saying. I mean, it's not just athletes.
So let's say it's Walter Payton, right? Beloved in Chicago.
Uh-huh.
Let's say he walks into a Green Bay Packers bar after a game.
I would guess.
Or does he transcend? Because he was so good. That's like, you kind of have to respect the player.
Yeah, I think because he's still arguably the greatest football player ever to live. I mean, I'm not saying he is, but There's an argument for that.
It's a good argument, yeah.
Yes.
So let me take a different player. What's the lineman? Ndamukong Suh?
Yes.
Right. So defensive lineman kind of has a bad reputation as a dirty player, right? Not at least from what I've seen, a friendly player, friendly person. But you like him when he's on your team, one of those kinds of players, right? Or Bill Laimbeer.
Yes.
Now, what happens if Bill Laimbeer walks into a Chicago Bulls bar?
Oh, he gets booed like crazy. But a guy like that soaks up every bit of it.
He loves it. He
loves it. Yep. Absolutely loves it. Absolutely loves it. You brought up Ndamukong Suh. He was actually interviewed on The Score here in Chicago not that long ago, and acknowledged his playing career and what a beast he was and all that. But I got to tell you, fascinating interview and very, very smart guy who is big in the financial world nowadays. So,
well, he made enough money, so yeah.
Yeah, he did, but he also invested very wisely and has got things going. And talk about a guy who's set for life based on his actions with that money. He's definitely one of them. So, sharp guy, interesting guy, and very soft-spoken, which I was surprised because he was such a let's just face it,
intimidating.
He was an intimidating asshole on the football field. But his private life seemed like a very down-to-earth, cool dude that you'd want to hang out with.
Yeah, that's not a version of him that I've ever seen. So
no, I'm sure a lot of people haven't. So,
all right, I got one more thing for you.
Okay.
And this might take a little bit of thought, and I don't even know what the answer is for me. But what is the most useless talent that you have?
The most useless talent I have.
Skill. I don't know. Just something that you can do that's like, I would say above average, but doesn't benefit you really in any way.
Okay. This is really strange, but stick with me on this.
Okay. Strange is good. This is what we're going for.
I am really good at, and this isn't even a talent that benefits anything, but I am really good at estimating numbers for things. And here's what I mean by that. I am really good, and the perfect example happened today. So I was taking an order for a customer, and usually when I'm on the phone with a customer, I will write down what they want. For whatever reason, I almost always, within one line, if not right on the dot, without even knowing how many cases they're going to order, I am really good at going to the second column. When you're writing on a piece of notebook paper, it's like, okay, I need to go back to the top. And by the time that order's done, I will have used the same amount of lines to write on for both columns. Does that make sense?
No.
Okay, so let's say I am like writing down a list of what he's telling me. Like I need 4 cases of chicken. I need 6 burgers. I need 3 French fries. I'm writing those down in a list format, right? One after the other. After, say, 15 things, I'll go back to the top of the piece of paper and keep going with what he's got. And for some reason, I know that he's going to order 30 things. 15 on one side, 15 on the other.
All right, move your mouth a little bit because you're talking to the side of the microphone.
Does that make sense?
So it's really more like spatial awareness.
Spatial awareness. Another
handwriting.
Yes. Another one is I can, for whatever reason, I can look at a stack of something and I can tell you how many are in that stack, usually within 1 or 2. Like a stack of cards.
So that's interesting.
Like a stack of cards or a stack of papers or just a stack of something. I could just look at it and be like, yeah, there's probably about 10 or 11 in there, and there'll be 11.
So is this only for stacks, or could you take a guess at like jelly beans in a jar?
Yeah, anything in a group, I'm pretty good at being able to tell how many are in there.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I don't know where that comes from, but I'm either right on or usually within the ballpark, very close to right on.
So when you see one of those contests, like guess the number of X inside of Y, right? Jelly beans, cookies, popcorn, like whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Do you enter those
I don't.
contests?
And I don't know. And I probably should because I am pretty good at this. But I just, for whatever reason, I've always been good at estimating looking at something, I could tell you how many of whatever there are.
Interesting.
Yeah. Spatial awareness. That's a good way to put it.
Okay.
How about you?
I don't know. And the question came to me, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if I have an answer. I can tell you something that I am not good at.
Okay.
And that is judging the right size of Tupperware to put leftovers in.
Oh, yeah. I suck at that too.
So, let's say we have food or whatever, and let's, rice or something. And my wife and I are very opposites. She can nail it. And you only need this much room, and there's no room for error, right? And it's perfect. Me, it's half the size, it's twice as much room as needed, right? That kind of thing.
Okay.
But I cannot pick the appropriate size of Tupperware to package leftovers in.
Yeah, I'm not very good at that either. That's a great one. I'm trying to come up with one that I'm bad at other than that, because I am not good at that.
So here's something I do have a little bit of a difference is my hearing. I can hear very high pitched sounds. I could hear it a lot better when I was younger. It's starting to go that level of my hearing, but for the longest time, I could hear extremely high frequency sounds that most other people couldn't hear. And I'm not talking like dog whistle.
Okay.
It's a different frequency completely. But I could, for example, tell when a TV was on, even though it was muted in the house, because it emits a high-pitched whine. Yes.
Okay.
So I can hear it. The sound of the transistors and electricity flowing through the coils. And I can hear it in laptops. There's this phenomena called coil whine.
Yeah.
And if you have a laptop that has really kind of shoddy electrical instrument or components, I should say, it will make a noise. And so there are certain laptops, when I turn it on, it would immediately be like, nope, this has to go back, because all I hear is a very high pitched sound, like that kind of noise, but very, very high pitched and very, very faint. And I'd have these, and they would drive me completely fucking crazy.
Interesting.
Because only I could hear it.
Yeah.
But it's a thing. And so I've always been able to hear really, really high frequency sounds like that.
But I think back when we were younger and we're hanging out all the time, I think I remember a couple times when you would hear something and you would say to us, be like, hey, you guys hear that? And we're like, what the hell are you talking about? And I think that did happen a time or two.
Yeah. So I hear really high pitch. Now it's not as prevalent as it used to be. I think it's just part of getting old, right? Some of that stuff starts to go. But I hear things, for instance, when I'm recording a podcast, for example, right? I'm wearing in-ear monitors, and I don't have the most sensitive ear, right? And stuff like this, but I can hear a lot of things that come through.
Okay.
The chair you're sitting in, I just heard it squeak.
Yeah, because I moved a little bit. Wow.
Okay. A little bit, right? But little things like that. Obviously, me wearing, monitors in my ears, I'm hearing it, but it's not going to have the volume cranked. I'm not listening for it, that kind of stuff. But between this podcast, the other one I do, I hear so many things. It's part of the reason why I'm so specific about recording qualities, because I hear these things.
Sure. Okay. Wow, that's interesting, because obviously it's not something you look for, and it's not like you're a sound guy or you're a professional sound guy who, looks to hear that kind of thing. It just happens. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. But the high pitch thing is something that's been there for a very long time. I could always TVs were notorious because especially tube TVs is they would, for me, like I said, I could tell when a TV was on in the house, even if it was muted, completely
Anywhere in
100% muted.
anywhere in the house.
I mean, depending on the house itself,
Yeah.
And kind of echoes and reverberations and sound treatments and things like that. But my house that I grew up in Bolingbrook, any room in that house, I could tell the TV was on.
Wow. That's really interesting.
Completely useless. Doesn't do any good other than maybe, saving the electricity bill. It's, hey, there's a TV on, turn it off, right? That kind of thing. But yeah, a totally useless talent of mine.
Yeah, the only other useless talent I could come up with, and I feel bad that I didn't explain the first one all that well. The only other one I could come up with is I am really good at wadding up a piece of paper and firing it in the garbage can on one shot.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm very good at office basketball. How about that?
I would say that would have to depend on the quality of the paper.
Oh, yes.
The weight, right, to be able to have enough mass to be able to actually, one, make a relatively decent sphere-shaped object, but also then have the ability to actually, have it not float away.
Right. Well, yeah, because there's, the density of the paper, the wad that you make, the distance you are from the can, all that kind of stuff. I seem to get that right more often than not. I shoot better from the floor in office basketball than I do in real basketball. Let's put it that way. So,
all right. So that's a useless skill. I'll take it.
Yeah. Although I did shoot a couple hoops in my driveway the other day, which I rarely do. And I hit a couple without a problem. So that was not bad.
I can't remember the last time I shot a basketball.
This old man can still pop a shot every once in a while. Now, if I was playing an actual game or one-on-one, I wouldn't last probably 2 trips up and down the court. But I bet you I could still make probably 6 out of 10 free throws.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Better than Shaq.
Yeah, right? Now, granted, I don't have 18,000 people screaming at me while I'm trying to do it, but yeah, I think when I was younger, I was in middle school, I was in a free throw shooting contest and I made it to the finals. I think I made 21 out of 25 or something like that, and that got me into the finals, and then I totally choked. But yeah, I was a pretty good shooter back in the day. I couldn't do anything else in the game of basketball, but I could shoot a little bit.
That was always a slasher, a driver.
Okay.
That was my game. Get into the rack.
Nice. I enjoyed basketball. Right. I enjoyed youth basketball. Yeah. It's fun.
I played a lot of basketball when we were young. We played at my house and stuff like that. So that was.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yep.
One of the biggest injuries that ever happened in our youth.
Speaking of, our boy Jeff Cruz celebrated 50 yesterday.
He did.
Or no, 51.
51. Yes, he did.
So shout out to Jeff Cruz.
Happy birthday, Jeff. Again, I texted him. I did hear back.
He responded to me. Must like me better than you.
No, he responded.
You responded.
Yeah,
okay.
I did. I'm sorry. I did hear back. Yes. Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. Right. No, he's one of those guys where you text him and he'll get back to you every time.
Which is ironic because time management was not one of his strengths. And maybe still isn't. I don't know. Sorry, Jeff. Love you, man. But there was a reason we called him Cruricus, the god of time.
Right. Yeah, right. No, Jeff he's always been one of my favorites. Just a real quality guy in every sense of the word. He was the butt of many jokes back then, but he could always take it, and when he didn't, it just made it even funnier. So he's just an awesome guy.
All right, well, we're gonna give him a FOJ listener of the week.
There you go. There you go. I don't know if he listens. I've never asked him. I would love to get him on the show sometime because he is such a great friend. But yeah, happy birthday, Jeff. Hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
He's probably sweating his ass off in Dallas these days, but
yeah, Texas just sucks in general, the heat. I ain't about that.
When we went there, I'll admit, and I know he got transferred there for his job, But when we all went there to see him, I don't know about you, but my thought was, how could anybody live here? I
Well,
couldn't
you live
handle it.
indoors.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
I
live in
get,
your air conditioned car on your way to your air conditioned work and then go to your air conditioned home.
yeah, I guess. And a lot of people
You know,
do it,
like Florida's the
obviously.
same way, and Las Vegas is the same way. I mean, there's lots out. I mean, is it for me? No, it's
No.
just too hot, too often. But yeah, I mean, you go from air conditioning spot to air conditioning spot. It's like saying, well, how do you live in Chicago with those winters?
Yeah,
Same thing.
true.
You go from your heated vehicle to your heated home to your heated work. Like,
True.
how much time do you actually spend outside, unless that your job entails it, right? Or you want to be out there.
Yeah, but we've discussed this before. I think and I love the warmth. I do not like the bitter cold, but I think I could handle the bitter cold more consistently than I could the extreme heat that
Yeah,
happens in Dallas,
because you can always
Texas.
put on stuff,
Right.
and you can always shield yourself from those elements. So let's say, you know, winter coat, hat, gloves, mask. At that point, you're almost like completely insulated from the outside. You're inside, even though you're outside.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But if you're in a hot climate, there's only so much you could take off before you get in trouble, man.
That's true. I mean, today I was
That's
in
it.
my garage doing some stuff. And it was just so damn hot in there that I mean, I was literally dripping with sweat, and it's not like like you said, I couldn't take much else off. I mean, I had a sleeveless t-shirt and a pair of shorts. I mean, anything other than that's something that people just don't want to see. So, yeah, it was brutal. And then, I took a shower not long before this podcast, and God, that felt great because I was just all day long.
Yeah. Well, then you mix in things like, okay, humidity. That just sucks
Yeah.
for everybody.
Yep.
Or you get into a spot where sunburn. You know, they talk about the dry heat out west. Okay, well, it's still an oven. It's
Right.
still not comfortable. But how much time do you actually spend outside of your own choosing? Now, I'm not talking like, oh, let's go to the beach and like you're prepared for like, yeah, you're wearing, shorts and you're just going to lay there under an umbrella, or even go swimming, right? Or something like that. But
Uh-huh.
that's, that is a recreational thing that you're choosing to do. But yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I'm not either. Although, speaking of recreational things that I haven't done, but I need to do, when you lived here, did you ever go to the Air and Water Show in Chicago in the summertime?
No, not officially. I think the one time I was down there was by accident. And it was like the day before when they were doing like test runs or something like that. So that was kind of neat, but no, never, at least not that I can recall, never was there for it.
Yeah, I've lived here for like 46 of my 51 years on this planet. I've lived in Chicago. I've never been to the Air and Water Show ever. I don't know how long they've been doing it, but I've never been. So on Friday, the Air and Water Show was this weekend, this past weekend. On Friday, we had a regional meeting downtown. It was at this venue called the Theater on the Lake. So it was literally like a performance theater, and then another 50 yards east, and you're in Lake Michigan, basically. Okay. So it was on Friday, and like you had mentioned, they were doing their test runs for the Air and Water Show. So, we're listening to speeches and they're doing awards. It's like the annual regional meeting. So they're doing all this stuff. And every so often you'd hear the planes go by or whatever. And, it's just loud as hell. And obviously, you'd look out the window and there they are. And it's like the coolest thing ever and all that kind of thing. Speaking of the coolest thing ever, how about this play? Anyway, so I decided after seeing that, I need to go to the Air and Water Show. I've never done it, but what I saw was just awesome. Watching the F-16s and the F whatevers and the planes with the smoke coming out of the back and doing the patterns and all that kind of thing. I guess the equivalent of like a crop duster doing all the stuff, and the ones that go totally vertical and they twist and all that kind of stuff. I need to see that show next year. So I came home And I told Michelle, I'm like, you know what? We've lived here long enough. We need to go to the Air and Water Show at some point in time. She's like, well, okay, because it didn't seem to interest her. I said, I promise you will be entertained if we go do that. So next year, the plan is to go to the Air and Water Show. So I'm going to do that. Whether she goes with me or not, I'm going.
Have you ever been to other like military museum type things like aircraft carriers, submarines, like those are things where you can kind of go downtown, whether there or other cities?
There was, I forget which museum it was. I think it was Science and Industry. They used to have a
They
submarine.
had a sub.
I went through that. What is it? You and I saw some stuff down when we were in Louisiana. If I recall, we walked by a couple of ships. I don't think we were up close or anything like that, but we did see some of that. When I was in Tucson a couple times to watch the boys play baseball, there is a base there where they run planes out of, and you'd see them doing their daily test flights and all that kind of thing. So I saw a lot while we were down there, but that's really it.
If you get a chance, find yourself in San Diego. They have an aircraft carrier there.
Okay.
You can go on. Very cool, right? It's kind of a tour of the whole thing. And I mean, those things are just so massive.
Yeah.
But a lot of times inside them or on the flight deck will be different planes that they'll just have there, kind of old military craft that would have been part of like a deployment, on a boat, something like that. Actually, in 12 hours, I'm getting on a flight to New York City.
Oh, wow.
And they have the aircraft carriers there as well. And they have one of my favorite jets of all time. It's the only place I've ever seen it. Is they have an SR-71 Blackbird.
Okay.
That is like the long black. It's not quite stealth, but it's got the two big engines on the side. It's very unique shape. And this thing flies at like 3 times the speed of sound. It is crazy fast and also crazy high altitudes. Like it's just like a beast of a like precision guided, delivery system, let's call it.
Yeah.
Spy, reconnaissance, that kind of thing. But they have one up on the deck there. And that's still on my to-do list. Is for as many times as I've been to New York City now over the last couple of years, especially with me going there almost like every month. That's still one thing I haven't done, but they have a bunch of things. They have the Blackbird. There's an F-14 up there, a Tomcat, a bunch of different helicopters and stuff like that. So that's just cool stuff to see kind of up close. And
I love that stuff.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. San Diego. I've never been into the town of San Diego. Michelle has, because her brother was in the Marines. So she went there for graduation.
Coronado.
And yeah, I think it was Camp Pendleton, all that. But yeah, I would love to see all that stuff. Obviously the history that goes with it. And yeah, I think what is it? An aircraft carrier? I think an active aircraft carrier carries like 5,000 people.
It's like a lot of people.
Like it's a small city on these things.
It is. And they're not a lot of space either.
No.
Like they're on top of each other pretty much all the time.
Yeah. But they have everything.
Yeah. They're floating cities.
Yeah. And I don't know how long they deploy for, but I'm assuming it's months at a time. So they've got,
a lot going on that thing.
Yeah.
Some cool shit.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, my biggest exposure to an aircraft carrier is watching Top Gun over and over and over and over again.
Well, that's probably true for a lot of people, right? That's probably had a lot of, our generation into that kind of thing was Top Gun. Definitely a recruitment for either the Navy, but really more for being like a fighter pilot.
I think it was, from what I read for a while, it was the best recruit tool that they had.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. So,
yeah. Surprisingly enough, though, beach volleyball didn't see as much of an uptick.
Yeah, no. Did you see the second one?
No, still in it.
You never saw Top Gun Maverick?
No. I've seen bits and pieces on the backs of Delta Seatback Entertainment for other people watching it, but no, I still haven't watched it. And at this point, I feel like the boat is passed already, and I don't know if I ever will see it, unless I make a point to say, okay, I'm going to watch this, which seems rather unlikely to me right now.
Did you like the first one?
Yeah, it was fine. It was good. I mean,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, it was fighter jets and, cool stuff like that.
I'll admit, and I think we've talked about this, and I don't really know why, but the first one's my favorite movie of all time. It just is, for no specific reason. I never had military aspirations or anything. I just thought it was cool.
I
And
bet. So I'm going to have a theory here that in addition to just, the jets kind of being cool, right, and flying and stuff like that,
uh-huh.
the soundtrack
Oh, for sure.
is the thing that sets it apart.
Oh man, yeah. Danger Zone, Mighty Wings by Cheap Trick. Yeah, I mean, I could go on and on. I mean, all kinds of good music came from that movie. But the second one, it's really good, but it's almost and I don't, spoiler alert, it's almost the exact same storyline from start to finish. Like, just the way the story goes with Tom Cruise being like the leader. But I mean, there's the equivalent of the volleyball scene. There's the equivalent of the nightclub scene. There's he goes and sees his mentor scene. It's the same stuff. And they've got the same, oh, we got to fight the enemy at the end, that kind of thing. And it's a very similar story. Updated planes. Actors are really good. Miles Teller's really good. Tom Cruise, obviously really good. And I'll watch anything that Jennifer Connelly's in because I think she's hot as hell. But anyway.
I'm with you on that one.
Yeah. She plays...
that might be the reason that gets me into it.
Yeah. Well, they mention... It's funny because in the first movie, they mentioned Penny Benjamin, the Admiral's daughter. Well... Jennifer Connelly is the actual Penny Benjamin.
That's the character.
Yeah, that's the character this time around. So it's pretty cool. But yeah, it's definitely worth a watch if you've got a couple hours to spare sometime. Yeah, I'd sit down and watch it.
Well, let's see. It's Top Gun.
Right.
How many unique stories could they actually have based off of that?
Right.
It's a flight training school for the U.S. military. It's really not supposed to be a combat thing, but they kind of weave it in towards the end, right? Because it's like, this is what you trained for, right? That kind of thing. But
yeah,
90%, 95% of the movie has nothing to do with like military action. It's just stunt flying, basically. So what could, how many unique storylines can you actually come up with when that is like the theme of it?
No, that's
a good point.
Surprise
me, it's the same movie.
Yeah, that's a good point. But I was just surprised. And granted, the director was the same, the producer was the same, and all that stuff. So a lot of similarities between the two. But I was just surprised how close the second one was to the first one. But it's like, hey, Top Gun made a lot of money. Top Gun Maverick made even more money. So I'm sure I've heard there are talks of a third one. I don't know if that's actually true or not. But I'm sure.
How's that going to work? Top Gun, more top, most Top Gun. Like, what's the thing?
Yeah, the up to the top, or I don't know, but we'll see. But the Bears,
right, well, we got 30 seconds here, 38-0. Sorry, 7 minutes and 33 seconds left. But dominant Bears game. This is the most football I've watched since last year. Good to see.
Lots to be excited about. I'm sure they'll say, they've got stuff to clean up. And of course, every football game does, but way more positive than negative, which is what you wanted to see on Sunday Night Football and, Caleb Williams' debut. So, and the Bills keep trying to go deep, but it's not happening. So, good for them.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm done with you. Like I said, I'm getting on a plane in 12 hours to New York City. I got a lot of travel coming up, so we might have to adjust some scheduling here.
Yeah, we can do that.
Recording things, but
I'll work with you.
I think I'm on the road every week through most of October, I think.
Did you say like 8 weeks in a row or something like that? 8 or 9?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
A bunch of stuff going on. So
yeah.
I'll be in Orlando, Chicago, San Diego area, New York City, Philadelphia, I think back to Orlando again, and then Washington D.C. and then Texas.
Yeah, there was in Austin. I remember you mentioned
Boston
Philly.
and Grapevine, and just a bunch
I think you
of
mentioned
stuff going
Philly at one point. So yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on.
on. So
well, I can tell you my life is not nearly as exciting. So I will be here.
it's not exciting. Just it's sitting on a bus in the sky. That's what air travel is.
That's fair. It's fair.
Not
We are
exciting, other than
we
going
are
to a place.
contemplating
It was
we are contemplating a long weekend in Colorado at some point. So we should go see our kid. And we should go see my dad. So
I guess.
yeah, right. I know.
All right, my bad. We'll
So,
go Bears.
cool.
And I'll talk to you sometime no later than next week, I guess.
Yeah, sounds good. Let me know.
All right. See ya.
All right, dude. See ya.